What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. And listen, I thought that was the ideal way to start the show. And big up to Penalty Spot, who created that Ted Lasso, Mikel Lasso, man. That was a banger, to be fair. But listen, hope you're all well. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. And let's look forward to another good week. Start the week off right, people. Be better than you were yesterday. And Arsenal, come on. Let's move forward. North London Derby week. Let's make sure we handle business this week. Big up to Penalty Spot, man. That was a great little picture. Great way to start the week. And you know what? I can repeat this Monday in a similar way to how I started last week. Arsenal won 1-0. Win the game. Tight victory. Clean sheet. And Tottenham go and get battered 3-0 just to make that weekend a little bit sweeter. So, yeah, it was another good weekend for the Gunners. You know, History Channel settings behind me, people. Super Nick Anelka. Still, in my opinion, one of the most underrated, least talked about players to ever play for Arsenal. I love this guy. What a striker he was, by the way. Although he ended up playing for half of the Premier League in the future, which kind of ruined it. No Arsenal therapy today, people. I feel good. I'm enjoying these Mondays, you know. I'm going to the gym. I'm drinking my water. I'm not stressed out. You know what I'm saying? We're winning games. It feels good. But a big game this weekend, and it's going to be a much bigger test for Arsenal. Let's put it that way. Spurs, even though they've been slapped the last 2 weeks, we know it's going to be a difficult game, you know. Alan said, afternoon, Curtis, let's end Harold's days at the weekend. Listen, Harold looked like he did not want to be there yesterday. He looked like he is being held hostage at Spurs, man. He was playing defensive midfield. He was all over the place. I don't know what was going off with Kane, but he does not want to be there. Chef Chris said, take the man from yard, but you cannot take the Jamaican out of him. I know people on me. Do you know what? I think I was about 30 seconds late today. We're getting a lot better, people. Big Mikel said, we can all see the light. As I said, there's a small light in the distance. I'm just waiting for that bright light of hope for Arsenal, you know. Big up Todd Miller with the super chat. He said, the only club I hate more than Tottenham are the Hotspurs. Hey, big up to Todd. Appreciate the super chat. And listen, it always helps Arsenal fans seeing Spurs get turned over. They got seriously dealt with in that second half, which, you know, they'll be disappointed by. We'll talk about the other games towards the end of the show, Ronaldo and all the controversy surrounding that Manchester United-West Ham game. Big up to everyone who tuned in for the 2 watch-alongs yesterday. Super Sunday business. That West Ham United game, Noble taking the penalty. Ronaldo scored again. Obviously, Spurs getting spanked by Chelsea. Messi being dragged off for PSG, and then PSG go on to win the game. People saying already he shouldn't have gone there. Lots to talk about, people. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go back over the weekend. Arsenal get an important victory in a very, how can I call it? This over the years has been a very tricky game for Arsenal. It's a game that we haven't handled very well. I remember last year, Granit Xhaka kicks the ball against Chris Wood and hands them a goal. And, you know, every time we go there, you just don't know what's going to happen. It's one of those grounds that you can get beaten if you're not at it. And I felt defensively we were a lot more solid. I think there were a few things to worry about there. A lot of people questioning Ben White's performance. And I still think there are lots of questions about the way we move forward in attack. So we're going to do the player ratings and stuff like that. Messi or Ronaldo debate again. Yeah, a lot of people again saying, you know, Messi struggling to adjust to a different league. Messi didn't celebrate with his mate Icardi when he scored the winner. But just before we start and really get into the player ratings and so on and so forth, I wanted to quickly look at this situation. You know, we like to do a little kind of review of what did or didn't go right for Arsenal. Arsenal won this game by 1-0. And including me, I was very critical of Mikel Arteta. And I stated that I don't think we're attacking very well. And I don't think we can continue with this level of performance against better opposition and win games. However, the players have to take responsibility as well. As Kevin Campbell would say, It's the players, Curtis. It's the players. But the players do have to take some responsibility for this performance and this lack of creativity and ability to score goals in the game. Kid Crack said Harry Kennelly at the CDM. He was definitely playing like a CDM in that game. I've got two highlights that I want to speak about. And as much as I do criticize Mikel Arteta, at times you have to put responsibility on the players for certain situations. You look at this situation here. Nicolas Pepe is on the ball. Just here, Pepe's on the ball. Bear in mind, and we're going to talk about Pepe in a little bit more depth moving forward. You're a £72 million player. We signed you for things like this. When you sign someone for 72 million, you sign him to make the difference. This situation here should be absolute light work. Aubameyang has made the perfect run. He's peeled off these two defenders. He's outpaced this guy. All Pepe has to do is roll this ball in front of Aubameyang. Just roll it. It's what's that? An 8-9 yard pass. Don't play it towards him. Play it in front of him. He's even left-footed, so he's even at the perfect angle to just curl it into this space. Put it down here for Aubameyang to just run onto it on that left side of the penalty area and just bend it into the far corner. That little Thierry Henry finish. Genuinely, I believe I could play that pass. Tap triangle on FIFA. It's light work. We've seen it so many times. Nicolas Pepe does that. And it's gone. Absolutely shocking. I have to play it quickly because, you can't play too much on YouTube, unfortunately. They jump onto you if you start showing footage. That pass is so simple, it's unbelievable. Now, these are the situations where sometimes you look back on a game and you go, Aubameyang was awful. Aubameyang was terrible. Oh, he didn't score again. He's dreadful. He's finished. Get rid of him. I'm sorry, but in situations like that, what can you do as a striker? I've peeled off the defenders. I've made the run. It's an 8-9 yard pass. Just roll it in front of me and let me finish. And you hit it soft. And behind him, the defender tackles him. That, if I was a manager in that situation, I would be absolutely furious with Nicolas Pepe. I really would. Like you said, it's so casual. It's so frustrating. And my worry with Arsenal, against Spurs, against Liverpool, against Man United, against Chelsea, Man City, you do not get that chance over and over again to make up for it. You can't waste that opportunity. If that's Manchester City, that's 1-0. If that's Chelsea, Lukaku's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. That is the difference. That is the difference. The second one here is almost equally as bad. And, you wonder, is this because of the first one? But again, there's no excuse for it. Now, let me move this on. Now, the roles are reversed here, people. Aubameyang has the ball here. And Pepe's peeled off him. This, for me, is an even easier pass. You're literally right next to him. Just roll it into here. Just roll this ball into this area here. This guy's flat-footed. This guy, the left back, has left Pepe. Just roll this into this space here. Pepe runs onto it. Left foot. He can either bend it in the corner. He can smash it near post. It's almost as if Aubameyang said, anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. This is appalling from Aubameyang. The first one's bad, but this one's even worse. And what does Aubameyang do here? What is that? What is that from Oba? He almost puts him out for a goal kick. That is absolutely dreadful from both of them. Bear in mind, there are two most expensive players in the history of the football club. Aubameyang and Pepe. The game's 3-0. This is in the 65th minute. 3-0 after 65 minutes. Any other top-class team in that position. All right, let's say worst-case scenario, the goalkeeper saves one of them. It's at least 2-0 in that situation. Arsenal don't take advantage of either one of those situations. You will not get away with that. Even next weekend against Tottenham, you don't get away with that against better players. They are clear-cut chances that we are not making the most of. They are terrible. I thought I would start with both of those situations. Times like this, you appreciate Ozil's weight of pass. It is massive, people. Pass appreciation, weight of pass, realizing when to play a ball to a player or in front of a player. Sometimes you can play a pass so that he doesn't have to control it. You can simply finish it first time. Those two situations are dreadful. I do not put those two situations down to Mikel Arteta. I have to blame the players there. You're talking about £72 million Nicolas Pepe and £56 million Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Aubameyang is literally 6 yards away from Pepe when he plays that pass. And look how hard he hits it. They are poor situations that have to be improved on. And we have to cut these mistakes out. That should be 2 or 3-0. So there we go. We start with that, people. And we'll get into the player ratings. Luciano said Messi is peed at being dragged off by Poch. Mad settings. I mean, I watched most of the game. And, PSG won the game after taking him off. So Poch will say I justified that substitution. Big up to Luciano. Appreciate your super chat, though, bro. And, we will discuss matters outside of Arsenal moving forward. Niamo, thank you for your super chat. Said the thing that makes me mad is that in training videos they always do the passes and they can't pass during matches. This is mad at this level. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, the crazy thing is they're not even difficult passes. Most of us in the comments, whatever level you've played football at, even if you're just half decent at football, I would back all of you to pass that ball. The Aubameyang one to Pepe, I mean, come on. That is so close to him. How do you hit it that hard in front of him? I don't get it. And this is what they have to cut out the game if we're going to have any success moving forward. MO7 said, Curtis, please teach that to Aubameyang, Pepe, and Saka. It's crazy, isn't it? Saka again had another poor game. DJ Leon said, good afternoon, Big C. Hope you had a great weekend. There's a light at the end of that dark tunnel. In Arteta, we trust. Listen, what I will say, people, before we get into the player ratings, I'm in full support of Mikel Arteta. I know at times some of you may feel, he's not. He wants him out. I don't think Arteta's done a great job at Arsenal. However, every day that he is the Arsenal manager, I will support him. I want Arsenal to win. I don't mind being proved wrong. We've won 2 games. We've kept 2 clean sheets. Defense looks a lot better. Something to build on. However, the attack still looks disjointed to me and still doesn't look like it's working. I do think the system has something to do with that, because it can't be a coincidence that Aubameyang is out of form and Ketia flopped when he came into the team. Willian had his best season in terms of numbers, came to Arsenal and didn't do a thing when he came here. All of these attacking players not working. I hear what you're saying, Zach. I support Arsenal and not really Arteta as well. But while Arteta's in charge, if Arteta does well, Arsenal do well. That's what I'm saying. I want Arteta gone if we can get an Antonio Conte. But I'm not sure and probably don't believe that Arsenal would get Antonio Conte. So it's a situation that we're kind of stuck with him. But anyway, moving ahead. Let's get into these player ratings. You know the drill, people. We'll discuss each player. You give me your opinion on the player in the comments. Make sure you smash a like. Over 1,000 of you. Can we hit 1,000 likes today, people? And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, Boris, no. I am not calling Arteta no legend. That is for certain. He has a long, long way to go before he starts getting that kind of level of support from me, I tell you. We won the game by a goal to Martin Odegaard with a fantastic free kick. And that's what he needs to add to his game, if he's going to be successful. You look at the stats, Arsenal, 18 shots, only 3 on target. I'm sorry, 13 shots, 3 on target. I'm looking at the wrong side. 55% possession, 523 passes, 80% pass accuracy, 1 yellow card, no reds, 3 corners, 18 shots for Burnley. So was it a dominant performance? Not really, but I think we had great opportunities to open them up. Again, we're still not on page 1, people. I still have to scroll down to find us. Unfortunately, hopefully by next week we'll be on page 1. We're up to 13th, people. The dizzy heights of 13th. We've escaped the relegation battle, I hope. But as you can see, we're 3 points behind Spurs, who are 7th. If we can beat them next week, we're level points. But, we got a long way to go. We've got to start leapfrogging these teams because, as you can see, a lot of the teams at the top are stringing results together. So we're going to have to improve quickly and keep winning games. But let's have a look at the lineup and do the player ratings, people. That We Stain Yellow jersey is giving us look at the moment. Finally, Big up to Don Draper in the chat. Hope you're well, my bro. Keep up the great work on Twitter as well, as always. Dizzy height settings. We're so high, we can't believe it, people. Let's get into the player ratings. Aaron Goatstale. They're calling him the GOAT. Relax. Aaron Ramsdale, I know. But we're calling him Goatstale for the weekend. I thought he was fantastic. He got us out of the mud, mate. Because let's face it, if he doesn't deal with that back pass from Ben White, we're in big, big trouble. I'm going to probably give Ramsdale an 8 out of 10. I would probably only not give him the 9 because I don't think he had that much to do in terms of saves. But he was very good. He came and collected his crosses. His kicking was good. His distribution was good. And like I said, he got us out of an absolute mess when Ben White underhit that pass. If he'd made a few more spectacular saves, I may have given him a 9. Gianluigi Ramsdale, 8.3. Ramsdale is worth an 8. I'm going to give Ramsdale an 8. I can see a lot of you giving him 9s as well. Zach said it would have been Arsenal therapy today if he didn't deal with it, 100%. So big up to Goatstale, mate. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Fantastic performance. What I will say, at the moment for me, Aaron Ramsdale is Arsenal's number 1 goalkeeper. I think Leno... Still, I don't want to start slandering Leno because he's not in the team and all of a sudden, he's a terrible goalkeeper. No, I think Leno is a decent keeper. What I will say is I often feel uneasy with Leno in goal. He never strikes me as a manager, that as a goalkeeper, that is commanding coming for crosses or great on the ball. And I always said I thought Emi was better than Leno, and I hope Ramsdale keeps up this excellent form. I'm going to give Ramsdale an 8. Most of you give him an 8, a few 9s, the odd 7. But I think it was a very, very good performance. Let's go to Tomiyasu at right back. New signing. Had another good game for me. Won a lot of headers. Was solid defensively. And got around Pepe as and when he could. And I think another solid performance. Nice to see a fullback winning headers. Looks comfortable on the ball. Tommy Cafu, they're calling him. What I will say, just to put things into context, and I always say this, this won't affect the ratings for this performance, but he is going to have much bigger tests. I always say that right back is one of the toughest positions to play in the Premier League because of the quality of the left wingers in the Premier League. Mane at Liverpool, Sterling or Grealish at Manchester City, Zaha at Palace, Son at Tottenham. He's going to play against Son this weekend. We will really see how good he is defensively in the coming weeks. Norwich and Burnley, no disrespect. I don't really think either one of them have got great wingers that are really going to ask big questions of you. But it was a very competent, solid performance. Burnley away is a horrible place to go. I thought he was solid. I'm going to give him a... what am I going to give him? I don't do half, so I would have probably given him 7.5. I would have put Ramsdale just above him. But because do I give him a 7 or an 8, people? We're going to be positive. I'm going to give him an 8. I would say it was more of a 7.5 performance. But being as it's Burnley away and it's a stink fest, Burnley's a horrible place to go. Trust me. I'll be positive and give him an 8. But we're going to see how good he is this weekend against Son. He's going to have a much, much bigger test this weekend. Kieran Tierney at left back. I don't know about you guys, but I'm coming away from a lot of games with Kieran Tierney, and I almost don't know how to judge his performance. It's really strange with Tierney. He wasn't bad again. You know, he's coming away from games very quietly, and I'm like, did he play well? Did he play bad? He always seems to be on the floor after about 70 minutes. Is he injured? Is it cramp? I don't know what the situation is. Reading after the game, apologies, I did read that it was cramp and it's not an injury, but then usually cramp is down to tiredness, lack of fitness. And, I wouldn't expect him to be unfit at this stage in the season. He had about half of the Arsenal pre-season. I think just over half, actually. So I'm kind of baffled with Kieran Tierney. I'm probably going to give him a 6. He came off after about 70 minutes with cramp. Don't really remember him making mistakes, but he's just not affecting the game as much anymore. Is 6 harsh, people? Let me know. Scott Phillips said 6. Jansen said 6. Dunkirk said sat in there a solid 6. Gunnar 8 said big game player, 6 out of 10. Our players never end games without cramp, Curtis says. Enam. Adinho said a 5 is fair. I don't know what it is with Kieran Tierney. I feel very underwhelmed by the start that he has made to the season. You know, I look at the Brentford game, ripped apart. Chelsea game, ripped apart. Man City played wing back, did nothing. Norwich was okay. And then this game, I'll give him a 6, but I think he needs to improve. Not standing out can be a good thing. I hear you on that, especially with defenders. But I just want to see a bit more from Tierney, that's for sure. I think he's got more to his game. Let's go to the centre-backs. I'll start off with what I believe was the lesser performance of the two. Ben White, is it a worrying performance, or do we just put it down to the fact that Ben White is not a specialist in the air in a physical battle, and this is probably one of the most physical battles you could have in the Premier League in terms of Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood. Ben White was the weak link in our back four. Now, when you've paid £50 million, he's the most expensive defender in the history of the football club. You have to be a little bit concerned when it feels like Burnley are targeting him and looking at him as if he's the weakness. For £50 million, you should be one of our best defenders. People calling him the Seaside Mustafi at the moment, which is worrying. Someone messaged me saying he looks like he should be in Towie, the only way he's Essex. But he has to play better. Stupid pass that nearly cost us the game, as Omar says. You know, if it isn't for Aaron Ramsdale, we're doing Arsenal therapy right now, and I'm having a meltdown that we drew 1-1 with Burnley, and I'm probably calling for Arteta to be gone. You know, so this is the fine lines, the fine margins. I felt like he got bullied, and I felt like he struggled to deal with the physicality of Wood and Barnes, which for most defenders is difficult. And I've said before, did we buy the right kind of centre-back? I think sometimes nowadays people get so obsessed with this, I need a ball-playing defender. You know, you just need a defender, to me, that's half decent on the ball and steady. My number one thing is, how good are you as a defender? Is Ben White a top-quality defender? Yeah, he might be comfortable on the ball. He wasn't comfortable when he gave it back to Ramsdale. But how good is he as a defender? What I will say, I'm not going to write him off. I don't want people to start saying, you know, he's rubbish, we've wasted money, this, that, the other. Time will tell. This is probably the most physical performance you're going to have to put in against, you know, Barnes and Wood. But I thought he lost the battle and he nearly cost us the game. I'm thinking 4, 5. I'm gonna let him off the hook and give him a 5, right? I'm gonna give him a 5. I don't want to annihilate him and give him a 4, but I think looking at the game, he struggled. I'm gonna give him a 5 and let him off. Needs to hit the gym. Maybe that's something he needs to add to his game, that physical aspect. Some people saying 4, but Oz said our Brighton looking better without Ben White. 5, not sure he feels comfortable at centre-back in a 4, and that's it. A lot of his games at Brighton, he was in a 3 at the back. You get a lot more protection in a back three than you do in a back four. So, like you said, Kane will give him a battle as well. I'm going to give him a 5. He gets away with it. Let's go to Gabriel. I don't know about anybody else. For me, man of the match, colossus performance from this guy. Said many times, for me, I think he's the best defender at Arsenal. I think he'll be a Brazilian international by the end of this season. I love his aggression. I love his willingness to go and have a scrap. You know, he wasn't intimidated by Burnley at all. And I just hope that him and Ben White build a partnership in the fact that Gabriel is the aggressive one. Ben White is the one that reads the game maybe a little bit quicker. And doesn't have to kind of do that. Just a few stats. Gabriel for Arsenal against Burnley. Most clearances, 8 clearances. Most tackles, 1, 3. And most blocks completed, 2. It was a truly colossus performance from Gabriel. Barnes got dragged off, and he was absolutely fantastic in this game. For a guy that missed nearly all, I think he missed the whole of pre-season with injury. Got injured away with Brazil at the Olympics. He was fantastic. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10, man of the match. You got to think, playing against Barnes and Wood, and Ben White is next to you getting bullied, it's quite easy for the centre-back to just disappear with the other one and think, you're getting annihilated, now my game's going to disappear. He didn't. He kept his focus. He was commanding. There was a time in the game, I don't know if anybody saw it, where there was a situation, I don't know, I think it might have been Pepe, where he might not close down the ball quick enough or something. And Gabriel steps forward, starts pointing fingers and like shouting, saying, you've got to press harder than that. And I thought, that's what I'm talking about. I saw leadership qualities there. Apparently, his English has improved massively over the summer. Is he a future captain of Arsenal? I know a lot of people were screaming Tierney for captain, but, you know, could Gabriel be a future captain for Arsenal? Time will tell with that, but I felt this was a fantastic performance. He has to build on that. The one weakness I always felt that Gabriel had in his game was sometimes he wanted to win the ball too quickly and he would foul people. You have to learn to stand up sometimes and just delay when you can't win the ball. I thought it was fantastic. Gabriel Adams, they call it in the comments. Gabriel is Thiago Silva. I mean, let's hope so. Him and Saliba would be something else. Gabriel, man of the match, 9 out of 10. Fantastic performance. Thomas Partey, people. Thomas Partey, again, ended up on the floor with cramp. Luckily, not an injury. Strange formation. As you can see, we played 4-1-4-1. Which I was worried about because I felt Thomas Partey may be exposed and isolated. I think we got away with it because Burnley didn't have that quality in midfield to make us pay. I think if we played this system against Tottenham on Sunday, we'd be in more trouble because I do think Thomas Partey gets isolated. We played this system against Villarreal last season. Sorry to remind you all about that game. But he was exposed on the counter-attack because the other people were not getting back and helping him. I would probably go towards a 7 for Thomas Partey. I thought he was solid without being spectacular. It was a tough game for him. He was good on the ball, played a few nice passes, a couple of stray passes as well. Not an easy role for him to just sit there and anchor the midfield like that with effectively 2 number 8s in front of him. SB said Gabriel Keown. Let's hope so, man. Greg said 7 for Thomas Partey. I am the best said Partey was an 8 for me on the second half, but a 7 on the first half. Partey was Arsenal's second best to Gabriel for me. Fair enough. Gunning Soul, man. Partey changes our team. He's different level. We give him a 7. Jung said a solid 8. Partey does better without Xhaka, says Jaden. Listen, we will be speaking about Xhaka as well. Obviously, for anybody that doesn't know, Granit Xhaka is suspended. His suspension finishes after the Wimbledon game, which means Xhaka's available for Tottenham now. Will Mikel Arteta bottle it and bring Granit Xhaka straight back into the team? Personally, against Spurs, I don't think you can get away with Odegaard and Smith Rowe in this system. I think he will put another midfielder next to Thomas Partey. For me, it would be Lokonga. But you never know with this guy. Gunnar Vettel said, Xhaka, stay away. I hope so, man. We don't want Xhaka in this team. I'm sorry. We just don't. He doesn't help us. Let's go into the four behind the striker. Let's start with Bukayo Saka. Alarm bells are starting to ring for me. Not going to lie. There's a problem. There's a problem with Bukayo Saka. I would say Bukayo Saka is tired. I don't think mentally his head's in the right place at the moment. I have to admit, I'm not so sure whether it's physical exertion or psychological or mental. I look at it as Bukayo Saka is a young player, and he's just had one of the most difficult things you could ever go through in football. Effectively, his penalty, and I'm not putting all the blame on him, of course, but he missed that penalty, the decisive penalty. If he scored, that penalty shootout continues. It's okay when he plays at every ground and everybody claps him. Oh, we love you, Bukayo. But really, it's sympathy. He knows that is still in his mind. Missed nearly all of pre-season. I don't think he finished the season well for Arsenal either. Is it time to take him out of this team? Now, there are a couple of things to look at here. Is he better on the left or on the right? He did a lot of his best work last season playing on the right, but I think they want to play Pepe on the right and they feel Saka can play on the left. Number one, is Saka better on the left or on the right? Number two, does he need to come out of the team? Is it time for Gabriel Martinelli to be given a chance? For me, I think it is. I think it is. I think Martinelli is ready to go now and start on that left-hand side. That's his position. Buenos Aires Guna said, Saka's being overplayed. Has Martinelli been kidnapped? It's crazy. I just don't understand why Martinelli isn't given a chance. Euro 2020 final miss. I mean, you can't imagine the effect that would have on you psychologically. For me, he doesn't look the same player at the moment. Marvu said, Saka is so protected by your fan base, Curtis. If Pepe played this bad for so long, he could be finished. I mean, look, Saka got player of the season, so he's got credit in the bank in that sense. Gunnar Vettel said, right wing is Saka's best position and arguably left back. I always thought he was very good at left back, to be fair. I would give him a 5 for this performance, and I'm being kind. I really am. We won the game. I don't want to be too negative, but I think he was poor. I'm probably being kind, giving him 5 out of 10. He was poor. He was not involved in the game. I would have taken him off earlier as well. Still confident, like Yaffe said, that he can bounce back. Still got quality. It's sad because it's the North London derby and you wouldn't want to take him out for that game, but I think it's time to bring him out of the team and play Martinelli. I really do. Omar, yeah, I'm being kind to him. Honestly, I am giving him a 5, but I'm giving him a 5. Nicholas Pepe, right-hand side. Nico. Pete, man, you're putting me under pressure, my friend. Last season, I defended this guy, put him on green screens, constantly said that the manager was holding him back. Still don't think the system suits him. Don't think it suits hardly any of these attacking players. Nicholas Pepe is starting, in my opinion, to become an issue for Arsenal Football Club. I think at the end of the current season, if Pepe's form doesn't improve and he finds some sort of consistency at the football club, I think there's a genuine question whether you move him on and take the hit in the summer. Because I'm watching other games and I'm seeing better wingers. I'm seeing better wingers that cost half of what Nicholas Pepe cost. I've said many times, he lacks aggression. He doesn't have aggression in his game. He doesn't look at the fullback and think, I am going to rip you apart today. When I see Mane, Mahrez, Salah, Sterling, Grealish, Zaha, I see aggression. I see fullbacks who look scared, who look like they're going to get ripped apart. When I see Nicholas Pepe, I see a nice guy. I see a quiet winger that is happy to pass the ball backwards, that won't run at you too much, that won't scare you. Look at Saint-Maximin. Look at Traore. Look at Leon Bailey's performance in 21 minutes for Aston Villa. Look at that kind of aggressive running. Nicolas Pepe does not have that in his game in the Premier League. And I'm starting to worry about this guy. I've defended him for a long time, but I'm not seeing enough from him. I don't see enough pace. I don't see enough power. I don't see enough aggression. He gets the ball and slows down too often. Even your Rafinhas and players like that are performing at a higher level than him. Don't get me wrong. He got numbers last year. 10 goals in the Premier League was decent output. But we need more from him. And at the moment, I'm underwhelmed by his performances. What rating would you give him, people? Again, as I said, you saw the ball earlier for everyone who was tuned in. 1,500 of you in the chat now. Make sure you like and subscribe. There was a simple pass that he could have laid into Aubameyang. That's a goal. Equally, Aubameyang didn't play the ball back to him. I give it a 5 out of 10. I thought it was another underwhelming Nicolas Pepe performance. I can only defend him for so long. That's all I can say. If this continues, I think in the summer the club have a decision to make, which is sad because I think he's got a lot of ability, but we're not seeing it in terms of performance. I'm giving Nicolas Pepe a 5. I've got to be honest. I thought it was a quiet performance. He was probably better than Saka, but again, I didn't enjoy the performance from him. He's got to perform and play with a lot more hunger, like you're saying, Majestic. Let's go to Emile Smith-Rowe. Again, Emile Smith-Rowe for me is another player going through the motions at the moment. And again, he's a young player, so I don't want to start, hammering him. Not for 1 second. I still think he's got a lot of talent. I can't remember the last ESR game that I watched and thought, yo, he played really well today. I don't think ESR has played well for a while. And have we overhyped him? Is he not as good as a lot of people think? I don't think Martin Odegaard and Emile Smith-Rowe should be in the same starting 11. I really don't. I think you play one or the other in this attacking midfield role and play with 2 wingers out of Pepe, Saka and Martinelli. 2 out of those 3. Smith-Rowe for me, again, works hard, doesn't affect the game enough. There was a time in the first half, Pepe rolled it to him, he hit it over. There was another one, Aubameyang laid it into him. He just side-footed it straight at the goalkeeper. Because we won, again, I'm going to be kind and let him off. I'm giving him a 5, but it was another poor performance in my opinion, and he was substituted. Works hard. I never question his work rate. But, Gunnar 8 said our future needs nurture, and I hear you on that. I think it does. Again, I don't think at the moment, looking ahead to the North London derby, I don't think Emile Smith-Rowe starts that game if I'm picking the team. So 5 out of 10 for Smith-Rowe. Martin Odegaard, people, scored the winning goal. Fantastic free kick. People saying he's the number 10 weighing down Smith-Rowe. I mean, he wanted it, so he's got to live up to it. Martin Odegaard scored a fantastic goal. I thought in the first half he was instrumental, came deep, got on the ball, kept us ticking. Second half he was a little bit more quiet. We didn't really dominate possession, and he was a little bit more of a passenger in the second half. I thought he was good. There was a very mixed response to Martin Odegaard's performance on social media. I saw some people saying they thought Odegaard did nothing outside of the free kick. And then some people said they thought he was fantastic. I'm a little bit in between. I'm going to give Odegaard a 7. I thought he was good, not spectacular. I thought first half he dominated possession for Arsenal. He was the main midfielder getting on the ball. Second half, a lot more quiet. But he scores the winning goal. Great free kick. We may have drawn that game if it wasn't for him. And I'm going to give him a 7. Which I think is fair, to be honest. I don't think he was no 8 or 9, but certainly not a 5 or anything like that. So I'm going to be kind, give him a 7. First half, very good. Second half, a bit quiet, in my opinion, although I'm sure not everyone will agree. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Oba. As I said, people, you saw the highlights at the start of the game. If Pepe can play an 8-yard pass to him, he's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper and maybe he scores. But however, it didn't happen. Outside of that, I thought Aubameyang was dreadful. And you know me, people. You know I really defend Aubameyang. In fact, a lot of you jump on me in the comments. Look, YS Curtis, I'm telling you, call out Aubameyang now. Headless chicken. Aubameyang was dreadful in this game. What I will say, he worked hard. But apart from that, would you know he was on the pitch? I can't think of hardly anything that he did in this game. And again, similar to Nicolas Pepe, I think we have a question mark to ask over Aubameyang in the summer. Has the system ruined him? Can he not play for this manager? Or is he just faded as a striker? Or is it a combination of the two? Time will tell over the next few weeks, but this was a dreadful performance. It's crazy because when I look at the game, was he worse than Ben White? And I gave Ben White a 5. But because Aubameyang is the captain, he's used to the team, he had opportunities to make things happen, I'm going to give Aubameyang a 4 out of 10. He wasn't in the game at all. I don't think the system helps him one bit, but he's got to help himself a little bit as well, you know. Sometimes as a striker, you can turn around and say there was no service. But for example, when he could have laid in Pepe, that's a simple pass. Do your job. If we score, we say, well done, Aubameyang. Assist, 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. You know, so it was a dreadful performance from Aubameyang. People saying a 4 is generous. But because we won the game, I'll let him off. But you cannot turn water into wine. 4 is harsh. I hear you, but he's got to do more himself as well. He really does. This was a bad performance. Aubameyang needs quality wingers. Says Afam needs high quality wingers for him to work. Yeah, let's get the likes up, people. We're not even at 500 yet. We've got 1,500 of you in the chat. Can we get 1,000 likes? And for Aubameyang, it was a dreadful performance, one that he will not look back on with any kind of happiness in that sense. Let's do player ratings for the manager. Am I even going to do the subs? I mean, no, they came on pretty late. I don't think the subs really made much difference. We'll do a player ratings for the manager. The team selection was, I think I would have probably gone Lokonga and taken out Smith Rowe. But apart from that, he was pretty good. Some of the changes were enforced due to cramp in the players, Thomas Partey and Tierney. Otherwise, I think Saka should have been dragged off. I will give Mikel Arteta I still find it hard to give him a high rating because the football was still pretty poor. I'm going to give him a 6, 7. Trying to be positive here, people. The game was still pretty boring to watch. I'm going to give him a 6. It's a building block, you know. It's a building block for me, and not much more, you know. We won the game via a set piece. Not like we played great football to win the game. I'm going to give him a 6. Some of you are going, that's harsh. You know, you should have given him 7. We won the game. I'm still giving it a 6. I still want to see a style of football that I can look at and go, right, now I can see what's happening with Arsenal. The football was still pretty average. And I think we're lucky that it was Burnley who were terrible as well. So we win the game 1-0. Martin Odegaard, we're up to 13th in the league. And it's North London Derby week, people. We play Spurs at the Emirates on Sunday, 4:30 kickoff. And we need to win that game. You know, these games are only important if you win the ones after. I think everybody knows that North London derby has to be won. Tottenham have now lost 2 games in a row by 3-0. They even conceded a couple in Europe in the week as well. So they've conceded 8 goals in their last 3 games. We need to be scoring goals against them, you know, and beating them. We're at home. Their confidence is low. Kane looks like he doesn't want to be there. And we need to get hold of them in this game. People, it's that time of the day again. You know what time it is, people. You already know. It's time to hear what Mikel Arteta has got to say about the games. And it's only right that we bring up the notable picture. There's only one picture that comes up this time, people. Every day I'm waffling. Every day I'm waffling. Here he is, people. Get the maple syrup ready. Mikel Arteta, I'm sure he had this smile on his face as well after the victory against Burnley. Very difficult place to go and get a win. I have to admit, I didn't think Burnley were great. I think the game was there for the taking, and we got hold of it in the end. So at least we won the game. But here we go. Mick Ross settings, people. I don't know what he's going to have to say, really. I'm pretty sure this will be a relatively straightforward press conference, being that we won the game. Go and get your drink. Go get your coffee. Get your tea. Get your water. Get whatever you need. Get your sunglasses ready. You know, it's going to be a beam of light coming through your screen when Mikel Arteta talks about, you know, this performance. But listen, I'm sure the questions will be relatively easy and straightforward for him to answer. You know, I'm sure it'll be, oh, what did you make of victory and all those questions. Coma music. Oh dear. Mikel Arteta left Turf Moor feeling upbeat after seeing his side claim all 3 points on Saturday afternoon. All right, let's get into the questions. On the performance, oh man, it's a long answer. A really hard-fought victory in a place that is tough to come and win. They do really well with what they do. They put you under a lot of pressure. I think we started the game really well, controlling and dominating the game. We had some big phases where I saw a lot of things that we want as a team. We scored the goal, had some opening chances, and then there were moments where we lost control, started to give balls away. Then the game becomes open. There is no control. They split the two blocks very much, and then you have to defend crosses and long balls. I thought we did that really well. We have players that are not in the best quality to play that game. Interesting. Now, is that aimed at Ben White? Kind of saying here that we don't have people who are ready to deal with that physical presence and the crosses. I think that's a little bit aimed at Ben White, if I'm being honest. But hey, we continue. And he says, but I think they did terrifically well. And the commitment and the attitude they showed throughout the game to find a way to win was the most pleasing for me after the game. Very basic question on the performance. On the physicality of Gabriel and Tomiyasu, he said both of them, I think they were really terrific. I think the back four in general was really solid. We didn't concede much, even though they put us under pressure. I thought they were really good. Yeah, I thought they both were good physically. Yeah, he might as well have called him out. He's just firing shots at Ben White. You know, how are you going to come out? Man's dropping subliminal diss tracks at Ben White and then forgetting that he was the one that signed Ben White. Maybe the light blinded him and he thought Unai Emery signed Ben White, you know. Ben Light, he should call him, you know, Ben Light. Light because he's not physically very strong, and light because, you know, it's that light of fitness and that bright light, that you've told us all about that you can see now. So Ben Light, we're calling him. On Gabriel's impact and having 2 clean sheets from the 2 games he has played, he says, yes, but we didn't have him, so we don't know how much we have missed him. We know that he's a player with an incredible future, and he's already given us a lot. He has adapted really well to the league. That's why we signed him. He is stepping in. His language is much better, and he can coach and communicate much better with his teammates. Proper leadership there. He understands what we want, and I don't think it gets much harder than playing here in the Premier League. He was terrific today. I thought Gabriel was colossus for Arsenal in that game, to be honest. Ben Light, man, I'm telling you, Ben Light, people, get him a pure gym pass, man. £15 a month, unlimited use. That man needs to go and bench press. You know, you got to get stronger, man. This is the Prem. This ain't the seaside, man. This ain't Brighton on the Pebble Beach. You know, this is North London. It's different. On Thomas Partey's performance, he said he's really important because he is the anchor and he is the one that needs to read what is happening to make the rest better. That's his biggest job, to get the right balance in the team and to get the right fluidity so we can attack. How he managed the transitions was top. He has the pressing and the charisma, and then he struggled at the end. He could not finish the game because he was cramping, but that will come. He missed a long time. Now he's back again, and he needs some more fitness. Thomas Partey, man, lay off them Indomie noodles, man. He needs some hard food, man, some dumpling and that. Man said Ben press. Man said Ben press, you know, not bench press, Ben press. Oh, dear me. Man like Ben Light, you know. Curtis, why don't you become Ben White's PT in the gym? Nah, he can't handle, man. I'm pushing more weights than him, I'm telling you. Ben Pink. Dear me. Man like Ben, you know. Let's see what else he's got to say. On Kieran Tierney's substitution, he had a problem. He was cramping. The pitch was pretty difficult today. It was long and it was pretty warm to be playing it. And some players suffered in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Do you know what? This would have been the ultimate waffle comment of the whole press conference. But because we won the game, he gets away with it. If we had lost the game and I heard Mikel Arteta sounding like Ty, I would be annihilating him at this stage. He's very happy. Be thankful, Mikel, that Martin Odegaard scored that free kick, because at this stage of this stream, I would be having a mini meltdown. That is all I'm saying. Mikel Arteta is saying it was pretty warm. It was 19 degrees, I believe, in Burnley. I'm sure it is not that warm that the players cannot handle it. Ben White is from the seaside, mate, of Brighton. Gabriel is from Brazil. I'm sure a lot of our players are from countries where the climate is hotter than England. You can't be coming on here telling me it was pretty warm, and that would have been his excuse for losing. Count yourself lucky that we won the game, because I would be going crazy right now. Yeah, I'm not accepting it. Man said the pitch was pretty difficult today. It was long and it was pretty warm to be playing here, and some players suffered. I mean, let me just put this into context, people. England is not hot right now. We're in autumn right now. England is not hot. Yeah, you've got a day that's a little bit mild. It's not that hot. So you're telling me these players can't handle 17, 18, 19 degrees? He's very lucky. Count yourself lucky, mate. I'm telling you, because I would. He's a lucky boy. I let him off. It's the same conditions for both teams. The man's acting like we've flown in from the other side of the world, and this is 10 times hotter than we're used to dealing with. We live a couple of hours down the road, Mikel. The climate is not much different. It's probably warmer in London than it was in Burnley, let's be honest. Mikel, man, gee. Mikel's from Spain, talking about how hot it is in Burnley. That is some proper Thai settings there from Mikel Arteta. But we got the victory, so you get away with it. But I don't want to hear them type of excuses again. On Bukayo Saka, on whether he has struggled a bit post-Euros. Well, he hasn't had a lot of preparation physically. I think there are still things to improve there, but he is trying hard. He is another one who struggled in the final minutes, but it's great he's able to suffer and somehow come through that to manage these difficulties and adversities during games where it's not really going for him. This is part of football. He had parts where he was brilliant and parts then he struggled and then he was brilliant again. That is better than being brilliant and then to struggle. He's going for it now, man. The maple syrup settings are going crazy now. He's talking in riddles here. I can tell you something. He wasn't brilliant in that game. He had parts where he was brilliant, then he struggled, then he was brilliant again. That is better than being brilliant and then struggle. I mean, what you're saying, I understand, but I don't think that's reflective of Bukayo Saka's performance. He was poor, mate. You know, he wasn't brilliant, then struggled, then brilliant. So he's in full-on waffle mode here. He can't help himself. He's gone now. We've lost him to the waffle. You know, this is where Mick Ross takes over. So far during his press conference, he's fired subliminal diss tracks at Ben White and then realised 5 minutes later that he actually signed him. So we're calling him Ben Light. He's then talking about Saka was brilliant, then struggled, then was brilliant again, which is absolute nonsense because he was poor. He's then said it was too hot and the players suffered. A reminder, it was Burnley at the end of September. It's not exactly, you know, he's talking. I think he thinks Burnley is in the Bahamas or something. I don't know, Jake. You know, maybe there was palm trees there. He then said the grass was too long. I mean, I don't know what's going off, man. Every day I'm waffling. This is where it comes from, people. He is something else, this guy. Even when we win, he comes out with some craziness. On speaking of wanting specialists in every position, and if he feels the squad is closer to that ideal now, he said, we are much closer, but what we identified and recruited was players with really specific qualities and then to demand them to do what they are best at. I thought today was a really good example with some of the players playing in those positions that give you something different. I mean, nothing there. Alfred said, Kieran Tierney, nerf a break too, or deserves a break too, or needs a break too. Tavares needs a run. I think Tottenham would struggle with dealing with Martinelli and Tavares on the same side. Big up to Alfred with the super chat. I tend to think as well that Tavares, I don't think they'll risk him against Tottenham, but I think he's very close to starting. I really do. In a game coming up, man. They need to get him off media duties. He's insane. He's insane, man. He thinks Burnley's in the Bahamas. I don't understand what this guy is doing. Imagine Arteta in a World Cup qualifier in Qatar next year. He'd say it's too cold. Oh, my days. He's crazy. 300 balls and running the game settings, man. Man's making diss tracks. Right, what else he's saying? Yeah, we are much closer. I mean, how close are we, my friend? That's what I want to know. On Emile Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard playing a bit deeper at times, he said, well, they have to come deeper depending on which phase of our play we are in and in relation to what opponents are doing. In the final third, they obviously have to play in the pockets. They have to play higher, and their job is to attack certain spaces and go for the goal and have contributions for us to score goals. We had parts where they did really well, but the final pass or final decision wasn't that great. If it was, the score would have probably been different. Final ball was not good enough. On the fact we have struggled in these type of games and whether results like this change the mindset. Said, hopefully, yes, it builds confidence and trust and belief you can go through difficult moments. That's the outcome we all want. Obviously, the performance has to be there, as individually we have some magnificent ones, and collectively in patches we had some as well. But we need more consistency with how to manage games. That's important. We are young. You can see in the last 10 or 15 minutes, there are decisions we take that should be a little bit different. I mean, yeah, you sign the young players, so you're going to have to put up with that, I'm afraid. And last one, he said, on Aaron Ramsdale putting in an impressive display and whether his command of the box shows his character. He said, yes, exactly. That's his character and leadership. That's how he presents himself as a person. And that's what I like. He has a presence and dominates his area. That is it. Oh, my day. He makes that is the easiest press conference in the world. You've just won a game. Just keep it ticking. And he starts saying the grass is too long and it's too hot. Like you said, Zed Blogger, God forbid we qualify for Europe. Oh, we Arsenal 0, Real Betis 4. Listen, there was nothing we could do. The players couldn't stop sweating. The palm trees put us off. I have never felt heat like it in my life. It felt like I was in the oven. You know, it's impossible to play football in this kind of heat. This guy thinks Burnley is the Bahamas, you know. Waffle Minister. Waffle Tetter. Easy HT Tech said, the warm weather is not good for the hair, bro. Yeah, maybe his hairs were out of place and he couldn't manage it. But what a guy, man. What a guy. His press conferences are literally content creators' dream. You're like, when there's not a lot to talk about, you just go, all right, press conference. Let's hear what he's got to say and we'll be fine. You know, it's absolute waffle settings from this guy, man. But yeah, Tottenham at the weekend. I can't wait for that press conference. Can you imagine the things he's going to say in the build-up to the North London derby, man? It's absolutely crazy. Little roundup of the weekend before we get out of here. Obviously, we did the watch-along of 2 games yesterday. Manchester United beat West Ham 2-1. And Ronaldo scored again. West Ham equalised. Then, obviously, Lingard scores that belter. And they get the penalty at the end of the game, West Ham. And he brings on Mark Noble for the last kick of the game. And we're all sitting there going, boy, Moyes, that is risky. The guy wasn't even warmed up. He brings him on and he misses the penalty. And it leads to a massive debate. Should Mark Noble have taken that penalty? Declan Rice had the ball in his hand. He's taken 2 penalties for West Ham. He's missed one and he scored one. He comes on and misses it. And United fans are ecstatic. They've won the game. And David Moyes gets hammered. You know, what is he doing? Why didn't he just let Declan Rice take the penalty? Even though Declan Rice missed his last penalty. And I wanted to know your opinions, people. Big up John Layout with the super chat. He said Ben White should be playing beach football. Maybe it's too hot for him. Maybe he can't deal with the heat. But what is your guys' opinion? Do you think? I know in hindsight, because he missed the penalty, we're all going to say he made the wrong decision. But was he right to bring Mark Noble on to take a penalty? Noble hadn't even warmed up. John, give it a rest. Hey, big up, John, man. We had a great little debate in the comments yesterday for the game. Moyes clown settings. Ronaldo wins the Golden Boot this season. He's looking good. Declan should have taken it, said Mishane. I can't lie, Rice played good. He did. You know, I was a little bit critical of Rice, saying that I think he's overrated. 75 million, he's not worth it. But I actually thought he had a good game yesterday. I really did. I'm not going to, say that he wasn't good. I thought he played well. You're a professional, warmed up or not, you should have put it away. It's not as easy as that. I felt he tried to take the safe penalty. For me, and I know it's easy for me to say it, I think Noble should put that penalty down the middle. Because there's no way that David De Gea is going to stand there in the 93rd minute of a game and just, goalkeepers usually guess which way you're going to go. So if he would have gone down the middle, I think De Gea would have dived out of the way. He would have scored. It is a good save. He guesses right. He goes with the safe penalty of the open up side foot into the corner. I felt like he should have just smashed it down the middle and he would have moved out of the way. He would have definitely dived one way or another. And United win another game that they probably shouldn't have won, to be honest. Because, listen, they should have scored that penalty. Even though I believe the referee in that game was absolutely dreadful. I think United should have had at least one, maybe even two penalties in that game. But I think because Ronaldo dived the first time, the ref just decided, I don't care what happens to Ronaldo during this game, he's not giving him a penalty. Southgate settings, bring a player from the bench for a pen, delusional. Finesse FIFA settings, chip it down the middle. I'm not sure Noble's got the chip in him, to be fair. If we look at the Premier League table just briefly before we start to round up people, obviously Chelsea are top, Liverpool second, Man United third. Obviously, they're all on the same points. For anyone who don't know, I actually bet on Liverpool to win the title at the start of the season, not because I think they're the best team in the league. I just thought I got good odds, to be honest. And I do think they will be up there. You know, Liverpool conceded 1 goal in 5 games, and that goal was against Chelsea. City and Chelsea have only conceded 1 goal. I think at the moment, Chelsea look like the best team in the Premier League. They've got strength in depth. I think Liverpool will struggle a little bit because they've got such a difficult Champions League group. And I think that will take a lot out of their squad. At the moment, you have to favour Chelsea to win the league. I think Manchester City will not win it because they don't have that striker. They should have signed Harry Kane. They should have signed him. Harry Kane looked like, he looked like his soul had left him yesterday. He looked like, it was the worst thing ever. Being a Tottenham player, as Chelsea were celebrating in the background, you just seen this picture of Harry Kane, like, what am I doing here? Playing for this team. He looks like he was desperate to go to Manchester City in the summer. And I think he's caused this problem for himself. He should have gone all out for the move. He shouldn't have signed that contract. And I think Harry Kane is in danger with that contract of potentially he's ruined his career, because if he stays at Tottenham, there is actually potential that he will never win a trophy in his entire career, which for a player of that quality is just insane. It really is. It's insane. And, or it's incane, shall we say. But yeah, he's definitely made a mistake. Put some respect on Graham Potter's name. 4 wins out of 5 for Graham Potter. They sold Ben White to Arsenal and got better. You have to put respect on that. Danny Welbeck yesterday, winning goal. Nice little flick header and wins the game. Yeah, but watch Kane score against us. You can see it, can't you? I hope not. Omar said City will win it, in my opinion. Listen, you can't write City off, but I just think that lack of striker will get the better of them. They drew with Southampton at home at the weekend. Only 1 shot on target. Marvu said Leicester were robbed. I see a couple of bad VAR decisions there that, looked very, what should we say, suspicious. They were poor decisions. in that game. And obviously Chelsea slapped up Tottenham. It was nice to watch. I thought Thiago Silva was absolutely sensational in that game. 36 years of age, and you're putting in a performance like that. Rudiger, when you look at Rudiger and think Frank Lampard was actually trying to sell him, and you look at him now and you're like, what on earth was you thinking? Like, I just don't understand how you can get rid of him. For me, Rudiger, I would say, is one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. As we've said time and time again, he's a master of the dark arts. And he knows exactly how to get in strikers' heads and put them off. And yeah, absolutely crazy. But Harry Kane, no goals, no assists in the first 4 games. But you just have this thing, don't you, that Arsenal just don't be that team that allows Harry Kane to get off the mark and get that first goal, you know. Which will be very frustrating if that happens. Massive North London derby this weekend. And also Chelsea against Manchester City on Saturday morning. What a massive game that will be in the title race. And I've got to be honest, at the moment, you would probably make Chelsea favourites for that, being as it's at Stamford Bridge and City have just dropped points. Just quickly, a stat. William Saliba yesterday putting in another great performance for Marseille. Marseille, I believe, are second in the league now. 67 passes, 99% pass accuracy, 3 out of 3 long passes, 2 out of 2 dribbles, 2 out of 3 aerial duels, and 5 out of 7 duels won. He was in the team of the week last week. William Saliba on fire for Marseille. Will we ever see him in an Arsenal shirt again? Time will tell. I hope so. And the big question that people will be asking, is Ben White better than Saliba? Did we need to spend 50 million on Ben White when we already had Saliba? Should we have spent that 50 million somewhere else, people? Time will tell. Another clean sheet as well. People, we're out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've been on for over an hour. It's been a good one. Waffle settings again, player ratings, look over the Premier League weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in. Over 1,500 of you in the chat. Make sure you like the video and subscribe on your way out. We're going to get some collabs going this week as well. Obviously, we got the watch along on Wednesday. Arsenal against Wimbledon, League Cup. Don't forget, anybody that wants to go and watch that game, adult tickets are only £11 for Arsenal against Wimbledon for anybody that wants to go, and £6 for a child's ticket if you want to take your kids or anything like that. Very cheap tickets. Obviously, on Sunday, North London derby, we'll be doing a lot of build-up for that throughout the week. I'll be doing a watch-along for Chelsea against Manchester City, 12:30 on Saturday as well. Big up to all of you. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week, after the weekend. It was a good weekend. Arsenal won. Tottenham lost. We look ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bless.